So I just found out that we're not allowed to live in a tiny house, so I guess we're gonna have to move. I'm not really sure what to do with it. I don't know if I can sell it or make it into a garage, but I thought I'd show you around. It's been a long time since I showed you around. Now I'm not going to show you the whole place because this is over here, Carolyn's spot over here. And we don't show Carolyn on videos. I've explained that many times. She's got social anxiety. I don't think she has it anymore. I think she's all cured. She's been on this meat diet for a couple of years. I haven't seen her on anxiety, but she just doesn't want to be on camera, which is fine by me. When I made the YouTube channel, she said, I just don't want to be in the videos. Well, that's fine. Now, occasionally she's been caught on video. I try to edit that out. Sometimes I don't see it through the window or what have you. She's got her clothes hanging up over there, and there's no reason why you need to see all that. Our bed is right here. I'm standing right in front of the bed, so we got, it's all one space. Right over here is my desk. Now, you're all gonna complain how messy the house is. My desk has always been a little cluttered. Everything on here is stuff I use. Now, Carolyn built this shelf here on the window. The moon rises up on the east over here, so it's beautiful when I go to bed. I just absolutely love the moon, full moon when it comes up. So she put this there, and I said, now you're gonna block out the moon. But this is for her sprouting of sunflower seeds that she does for the chickens. I've talked about that before. She discovered that they were getting a little rotten, so she put a sock on them, and that gives them some ventilation, keeps them from rotting so much. So here we have the Berkey, little shelf, kind of has all the stuff that we need on it. We use it regularly. I don't use this so much anymore now that I'm on a meat diet. This is baking soda. Used to have to take that because I had indigestion all the time, but now that I'm off the carbohydrates, I don't even need that. The only downside to the Berkey really is, now somebody's gonna say, oh, here's what you can do. I actually know what I can do, I just don't. I have to carry this into the shower area to fill it up, and then I have to carry it back. Now, I know I could get a bucket and I could dump the water and all that, but it's just, I've tried both. It's easier to carry it. If you had an actual sink like a real house, you could put that by the sink and you could take your little sprayer hose and fill it up. But that's the only downside to the Berkey being over here and the water over there. I really don't find too many things too inconvenient about it. Now, down here in the wintertime, we have two spots that we put firewood. I try to keep 2 days worth of firewood in the house at all times because I would like for it to dry out. It sits out there in the rain, gets wet, picks up humidity, picks up fog, whatever. You bring it in the house next to the wood stove and it dries out, so I don't have that problem. So I have two spots. Now it's starting to get a little warmer. I don't keep them quite as full because I don't want to have to carry everything out. I can see at the end of the season I'd have a stack of wood in here and I'd have to carry it all out. So I try to keep it about 2 days worth now. Normally I'd have this all the way filled. Over here is the fridge. It still works. You may recall that we bought a freezer, which is right there. We thought the fridge went out. It wouldn't turn on, so we unplugged it, went and got in the freezer, and now we have this storage spot. If we ever need it again, I don't know, maybe in the fall when we butcher chickens, we could turn it back on, put them in there to let them rest, because you got to let the chicken rest for 24 hours before you cook it. Although in the fall time, I can just put it in the cooler outside, so we may never use it, but it makes a nice little shelf area. Both compartments are filled. Carolyn, you may remember, if you were here then, used pallet wood for all the walls, and I tell you, that has just been amazing. It's so pretty. Now, I guess when you're living in the house, you don't really see the beauty of it too much, but when I see it in a video, it's just, wow, that is incredible. We got our shelf with all the little utensils that she uses. Over here is another spot for the firewood. Then my tools that I use, well, this needs to go back outside, but the saw I use to cut the firewood in half, if it's too long, I go north and south and east and west in the stove. Now the wood stove, the best thing I think we've done is the wood stove. It's unfortunate, once we have to move, we'd have to probably hook up the gas or electric again. How are you gonna get that much firewood? I'd have to buy it and find a place to store it. Here, I don't even need that much firewood. 1 quart a year, 3 truckloads is all I need. Now, if you had a full-size truck, it'd be 2 truckloads. Mine's a little smaller. It's a 4-cylinder. Now, if I was in a bigger house, I would probably need about 12 truckloads. A while back, I told you that if, I don't even know if you can see that, they're splattering on the window there. I test every piece of wood that comes in here so nothing's wet. But occasionally one gets by me somehow or another, every now and then, and today one got by me. So you might see that creosote, I don't know if you can see that in there, but it's right there on the window. So when you run wet wood, that creosote will stick into your chimney also. Now, I don't run that much wet wood. I mean, that's the second time that's happened this winter. Then we have our storage area. Of course, people are complaining, your house is a mess, but it's just a storage area. I need to get the tools outside. The reason the tools are in here is these batteries aren't supposed to go below freezing. So I bring them inside, and Carolyn uses them quite regularly. And just a little tool shelf, but that really needs to go. I need to find something better for that. And then we have all our food canned up. Now, we're getting the cat spaded this next month. And somebody suggested that I buy these things. They're the little onesie pieces. That way she doesn't have to wear the cone. I don't think she's gonna like the cone. Somebody suggested that, so I appreciate that suggestion. And then we have a little closet back behind the shirt here. That's the plunger that Carolyn uses for her laundry. The little closet has, well, ventilation really. The ventilation, we run out to our water tank. I've showed you that before. So our water comes in to the house from the water tank. Of course, we have the well fills the water tank. So this ventilation pumps hot air from inside the house into the water tank. So that ventilation goes out the closet there. I have a battery back there, a little lawnmower battery that runs the RV pump that pumps water into the house. We have our pressure cookers. We got 2 of those. And then up here, we've got our incubator. I don't know what else is in those boxes. That one looks empty. Looks like it could come out of there. We've got our vacuum sealer there. Carolyn's grinder, dirty clothes. And then this is our shower with our water heater. But apparently, this is not acceptable to people. I've gotten a lot of complaints about the tiny house. And I don't understand it. I have found a solution, not to a problem. In a video the other day, I said, I built this house for $5,200. Well, maybe a little more than that. I can't remember. It's right around $5,000. The house is 12 by 16, and then we got a 10 by 12 porch. Occasionally, Carolyn and I bump into each other, occasionally, but very rarely. She's got her spot over here. I didn't even show you her sink. So she'll fill this up with water, rinse water and wash water, and she gets to sit down and do her dishes. She thinks that's the coolest thing in the world. Everybody else has to stand up, but not us. Now, I was on a submarine, so maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. I don't like having huge spots. I don't see the point. I feel really comfortable. I remember as a kid, I would hide in a closet. Dark closet, I was comfortable in there. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. But a lot of people think I'm crazy, and maybe I am. But it's my crazy. I'm not hurting anybody. These people who tell me I have to buy a bigger house, that this is not socially acceptable, it's not good for me or Carolyn. And I get that a lot, that this is abuse to Carolyn, that she deserves bigger house. And I ask her probably daily, do you like the house? You like the house? And occasionally she'll come back with an answer. I'd like to have more storage spot or, you know, something, but not very often. She always seems to make do. I mean, think about this. In the wintertime, we really lose a lot of space here. We got the firewood and the top of the stove can't be used. But in the summertime, all this goes out and now we have more space. And we can actually use the top of the wood stove as a shelf. So she seems to manage every season and figures out how to get more space. What I found really interesting is just when we thought we were out of space, I dripped coffee this morning, you can see it there. We decided to get a freezer and we found space for it. Now people have told me, you need to take that outside in the wintertime, and that way you don't have to run as much electric. We've tried that in the past. We took the refrigerator out there and then we realized that isn't gonna work. And we Googled it and found out why. If you do not have a specific winter weather freezer, when the temperature goes below 40 degrees, the thermostat doesn't kick on anymore. So if the outside temperature is 35 degrees, it's not below freezing, your refrigerator and freezer will start to thaw. It just won't kick on anymore. We found space for it. I don't know why it needs to go outside. The people who tell me that we need to find a bigger house are the same people, I can almost assure you, that don't like rich people. They will complain about rich people all the time. If I mention that former software developer, oh my goodness, I can't believe how many people will complain about him. Rich, rich, rich. We're not allowed to be rich in this society. People don't like rich people. If you're rich, you're evil. I get that in the comment section all the time. They just take money from us. I build a tiny house, and I'm told I'm not socially acceptable. What these people want me to do is get rid of the tiny house and go buy a house. $100,000, $200,000, $1 million house. I mean, prices of houses are really expensive now. 20 years ago, I bought a house, and it was an old 100-year-old home, and it was $28,000 is what I spent for it. What happened to it? Well, I ended up selling it before it was paid for, so it was never really mine. I had to keep insurance on it. With this, I don't have to keep insurance on. I keep a savings account in case it ever burns down. I can build a new one. But insurance, I have to keep on a regular house because the bank tells me to. So let's think about this for a minute. I don't like rich people. They're terrible. Now sell your tiny house or get rid of your tiny house and buy a bigger house. Okay, so now I gotta go out and get a job and work for a rich guy. Oh, I thought we didn't like rich guys, but okay. I'm listening, I'm hearing you. Then you have to go out and buy a big house. And then you go and get a loan from a banker. Aren't bankers rich? Okay, so we're gonna get a loan and we're gonna pay them money to loan me money. So now I'm working for a rich person to pay a rich person for money that he loaned me. I don't even understand that concept. You want me to spend money for money? That's crazy. And then I have to go get insurance. So now I have to spend money. So now I have to give more money to another rich person who literally may never give me my money back. Think about that. You spend insurance money every day, your house never burns down, you die. What happened to that money? It's gone. Now, doing it my way, I hold on to my money. If the house never burns down, guess what I got? I still got my money. But you want me to give my money to a rich person that you don't like. I don't understand the logic. It doesn't make any sense. I get this stuff all the time. Go spend money. The other day I was talking about how leaves are running down my ditch from the neighbor's culverts, and it clogs up my culvert and water runs into my well. It's no big deal. Somebody says, what to do with these leaves? I didn't ask. But he told me anyways that I had to go out and buy a pellet machine. And they take these leaves and make pellets and I can burn it. So I looked up a pellet machine. It costs $1,000. So I'm gonna make pellets for the wood stove when I already have 15 years of wood. So all I'm doing is spending money and giving it to a rich guy for what? I don't understand this. We don't like rich people, but we're gonna keep giving them money and then complain that they keep taking our money. I find a solution to this. I say, hey, let's move into a tiny house and I don't have to pay anybody anything after it's built. Oh no, that's a bad idea. You're not socially acceptable. You're abusing your wife. Well, I think my wife likes to be able to go out and spend money on anything she wants, anytime she wants, because we're not just giving it to rich people to hold on to, like the insurance company. So if you'll click this up next box, it takes you to a video where I was talking about people saying that we're not allowed to live the way we want. So if you click this up next box, take you to a video where I was telling you we're not allowed to live the way we want. So if I can inspire you to live the way you want so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.